here you're on the gas.
He doesn't care about speed, just line.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll give him a line.
Oh, I suspect you'll give him some speed too.
This performance would be 10 points.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Morning. Your car is there. Let's go for the final day with Scuderia Hanseat. She looks great in the morning. I like our MacGyver antenna solution, but it works. Welcome on the Nürburgring, and welcome to the third day already. Time flies when you're having fun. Third day of Scuderia Hanseat. Today we have 2 more sections. If you missed the previous 3 or 4 or 2 videos, I don't know yet how many is going to be. We are doing we're perfectionizing. No, what's the proper word, Paul? Improving. Perfecting, yes, okay. We're perfecting our skills on the Nordschleife by dividing the track in sectors, and then we're being evaluated by professional instructors, race car drivers, factory race car drivers. So it's very high spec, high level. And today we're gonna have 2 more sectors, namely the start of the Nordschleife, so from T13 or Hatzenbach towards Flugplatz, and after that from Flugplatz to Foxhall. Yes, so we're gonna have that, and followed by the final exam. Yes, we will be eventually evaluated by the whole course. So there is going to be that. I'm very excited. Back in the days when I was a student, I was kind of anxious for exams. And on the other hand, excited because this meant the course would be over. Now it's completely the other way around. I'm very excited for exam, but I'm very sad because this means that the whole thing will be over. But there's going to be more events, and who knows, maybe I will participate with them as well, because it's awesome. It's the atmosphere. You can see it here. Usually when it's raining and the Nürburgring, people are grumpy. You can see everyone is happy, talking about the last days, what they've improved, asking each other for tips, giving each other tips. Yeah, great cars, great people, great atmosphere, even disregarding the weather. And even better, this weather is actually even better because you can learn so much more in the wet, especially in controlled environment, when you have a closed track for yourself. Don't you agree, Paul? Wet laps are awesome.
They are great. Yesterday, yep, I learned a thing or 2.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, we're gonna park up. I'm gonna get my breakfast. This should be drink, but apparently this is food, but it works. And then, yeah, the first 2 sections.
So, we start the day with getting a diploma. Here's yours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah?
Wow. Okay.
So, is this just in case that we failed the exam?
Yep.
So we already got the diploma. Thank you.
Our section Hatzbach to Hocheichen. The perfect line. Now in these conditions it's really difficult to drive. Especially at Hatzenbach 1, the first left and right one. There's nobody standing, so drive carefully, slow, because it's one of the most slippery parts on the Nordschleife. So at the first day we had 2 cars who crashed at this section or at this point, but not in the right direction, so on the way back.
On the way back.
Yeah, when you drive back to the start, drive safe, carefully, and maximum 80 kilometers per hour. You must be able to stop immediately.
Alright, on to the first very slippery section, and just like on the first day, I wonder what the instructors want to see. The perfect dry line or a very good wet line? The $1 million question. We will find out.
you're pushing like a super racer sideways and all that stuff. You're overdriving your car.
Okay.
Okay. From the first 2 laps, you didn't miss. You missed the apex at turn 3. Do you try to drive a wet line or something like that?
Yeah.
You know there's new asphalt in this part of the circuit from last year, from 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago, yeah.
I suggest not to drive a wet line.
Okay.
Because I don't do it in this part of the circuit. There's some parts of the circuit where you do, but in this part I don't. So, you know, for me it's very difficult to judge if you drive a half wet line, or because it was not wet line. Normally you go outside of the circuit. You don't go like with 2 wheels of the rubber. There's rubber everywhere if there's rubber.
Yeah.
So try to drive the dry line, and then I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
The second graph,
Yeah.
you draw 1 meter off the line. It's
Yeah.
a little bit like a rain line off from the grip. The last one was perfect, but
Okay.
it's the limit. Don't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
faster. When you're faster, you definitely crash.
Yeah.
It's what was 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, but the last one was okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Keep it. Let's go.
Thank you. Bye. That's it for the first part. Very, 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 very slippery, very tricky, and as predicted, a good question: what should we do? Should we do the wet line, or should we show them that we know the dry line? And should we be careful, or should we be, all the questions that will be answered later in the exam. But now we're proceeding to the next part, Schwedenkreuz Höhe and Flugplatz and Kottenborn, which is a name that's not been used for that part of the track, towards Schwedenkreuz, Arenberg, and then stopping at Vauxhall. By the way, this part of the track, this part and even the turn, is still called Schwedenkreuz Höhe, and a lot of people think that this part is called Flugplatz because in the past the cars used to take off and thereby fly up until 2015 when they changed the track. So a lot of people were saying like, oh, this is Flugplatz because Flugplatz means like an airfield and they take off. No, Flugplatz is there because over there used to be an airfield for the what's it called, planes with no engines, because after the First World War, Germany was not allowed to have any like military, also any air force, and thereby they could only have planes with no, what's it called, like floating planes with no engines. Okay, insert the proper name here, like it's way too early for me. So basically that was popular there, and thereby because it was there, they called that section Flugplatz, airfield. So much for the history lesson this morning. And now let's see if they have some muesli bars, because that's my favorite part. Do we have the muesli stuff with nuts? We have cocos. I'll take that. Maybe those are the last ones, huh?
Nut bar.
Just a quick admiration shot of this amazing 993. Color doesn't suit the muesli bar, but it's the case with the 991 Mark II, however. So let's quickly go there, because we need to see if it matches. Almost perfect fit, almost. It seems like this color is between this and the purple GT3 RS color. Aubergine, that's what I call it. And now on to the second part, the biggest, largest piece of new tarmac as of this year. Okay. Well, you're wrong here.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Next section will be a nice one, pretty fast one from down there. I mean, you just saw the start coming up Flugplatz, and then here Schwedenkreuz and down to Arenberg.
Prepared a little presentation for you. You will see the next presentations are even better, but this is just the beginning.
It's with sun.
It's in color.
The sun is shining. So your starting point will be down here. Then you're coming up the little crest towards Flugplatz to the double right-hander. At the moment there's a little triangle standing saying a stop sign 100 meters, so you can check that on the way back, and that's a very good turn-in point. So coming from the left-hand side, very important for me to turn in early enough, because I want to see you really close to the curb here. There's some there somewhere in the middle, but here's the racing line. You can also see in the dry, you can see even better because the tarmac is really dark, and the racing line is completely bright relatively to the tarmac, so you can just follow the bright two lines. And they're also here at the curb. We don't want to touch it because it's really high and completely upsets your car. So make sure not to hit it, but come really close. And then it's one steering angle. From your first initial turn in, it's one steering angle all the way to the second apex, which I can obviously not see anymore, but I can still hear you. So for me, most important is a turn in, hitting the apex, and then coming here. You don't have to touch the, no, we don't touch the grass stone, but here somewhere on the left third, just to make sure that we keep the one steering angle all corner long. And most important, we want to keep the speed. So if you're then also by yourself later on and you will come up the crest, make sure that the car is nicely settled over here. And once you commit to the throttle and you're back to the throttle, I want to see a consistent acceleration all corner long, because I don't want you to lift here anymore or even there or brake even, because we want to keep the speed to the Schwedenkreuz section, because it's such a long straight that follows the Flugplatz, and very important then to keep the speed up as well.
Once you approach here, first of all you have a look if everything is cleared. Yeah. So once you come down before the compression, and then in the compression try to figure out your line. Anyway, you can see that from here it's not following the white line on the left side, on the right side here. It's actually a line. Once you come up the crest, you're not sure where you go. So you have to figure that out once you approach the first crest. Okay, I want you actually to be completely straight once you come over the first crest, and after the crest you watch yourself. When you come up, the wheels must be straight, not steering again, positioning the car. You should be straight here, 30-40 centimeters away from the white line. Not too close, but not too far either. Just before the 5-kilometer panel that is on the right side, 3 meters, 4 meters, something before, you start steering in to this left-hander. And when you steer in, be on the gas. You're on the gas once you come down.
Even if it's so slippery.
Even more if it's slippery. Okay. Yeah? It's really important. This gives you the confidence. So be on the gas. Here you position your car with the crest in the left third. Don't be too early. Early in is early out. Yeah? Gravel line. Come from outside to inside. Look to the points you want to hit parallel to the white line, and then hopefully you're coming down to Christian's point.
Hopefully, yeah. After this high-speed Schwedenkreuz, you will come to Ironback, the right-hander. Yeah. Here we have a very hard braking point. Yeah, that means the start of our braking point will be in the middle of the track, nearly in the middle of the track, with a little tendency to the left side, but not on the right side. Okay. Very important is a good turn in. Okay. For the guys who are here first time, on the left side on the barrier there's an orange barrier. This is a good fix point with the turn in. Okay, a late turn in, late apex. This is very important, and please don't touch the white line. Okay, it's very slippery. The brake area is very slippery. Go in late apex and don't touch the curb at the exit. It's very slippery too. Okay, we have a fucking moment this morning, so don't touch the curb.
So are they like walking paths, bike paths, running
tracks all around the track.
Yes. It was actually funny when they started construction, like before 1925.
Yeah.
They held like a big city hall gathering, and they asked like from all the people who live here, like, hey, so what are your main concerns? And one of the biggest concerns were from people who came here like to walk around, to hike and all the stuff. They said, well, as long as we can maintain that, please don't take away our hiking paths. Then it's all fine. So basically, one of the construction criteria was to maintain those paths along the track. So that's why you have also a lot of tunnels underneath, like from one track side to another track side, so people can like go it. So it's actually very good. And there are a lot of people who come here just to do the hiking or mountain biking, who have nothing to do with the track.
Okay.
There was like in 2016, the first VLM practice back in March. There was an accident happened. The track was closed for like 3 hours, and people started speculating and whatnot. And we're standing next to a marshal post, and the marshal said, "Okay, they're gonna open the track. Everything is fine." And everyone started cheering. And there was an old couple walking past, and they said, "We don't care about your racetrack." Like, well, the information was also not for you. So thanks, but there are actually people who come here who have nothing to do with the racetrack.
He doesn't care about speed, just line.
Yeah. That's fine. We'll give him a line.
Oh, I suspect you'll give him some speed too.
No, that's Paul.
I will be driving next. That's me, Paul.
Okay.
We double starters.
The last laps, it was Paul or
No. The first these runs it was me.
Okay.
And the upcoming 4 or 3
Okay,
will be
okay.
him.
Your name?
Misha.
Misha. Nearly perfect. Okay.
What can be done better?
In this tricky condition, nothing. It's perfect. Perfect
Okay.
with this car in these conditions.
Mhm.
A perfect brake.
Mhm.
Yeah, the brake line, the brake point, a perfect turn-in point. Early, smoothly on gas. Good apex.
Thank you.
I would say nothing more.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
In
This
these
is-
conditions,
this is
yeah.
nearly the maximum.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
This performance would be 10 points.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Paul, don't give me a hard time.
That's Paul.
Paul.
I'll be doing the 4 next rounds.
Okay. Actually, Paul, the speed is fast. You're coming over the first.
I'm driving though. I was driving, but that's Paul. So that's
I will
what
be driving.
But you were driving.
Yes.
So I talk to you.
Yes.
Okay. What's your name?
Misha.
Misha. So Misha, the speed is high, but you are a little bit too hard with your first steering here, and with your first braking.
Mhm.
This braking destabilizes the car and robs you the confidence for the next turn-in.
Mhm.
Okay, it's still quite okay how you turn in. The speed is still high, but in your last run you exaggerated a little bit, so you lost your turn-in point, and the car was even getting unstable. You lost around 40-50 centimeters to the right side,
Mhm.
which can be really tricky. Okay,
Yeah.
so I want you to leave your hands as well. Leave your hands here. Water past 9 position. Once you approach there, then you brake, and you don't have to lose. Your
Yeah.
braking should not be into the ABS.
Mhm.
You brake into the ABS, so the car is struggling. If you do that a little bit earlier and you brake smoother, not into the ABS area,
Mhm.
then the car will not struggle. It will be settled much
Mhm.
more, and you can concentrate more on the turning in.
Mhm.
All right?
Yep.
That's all.
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Really good. The first I rode top, the second one there was a little break, but I think you felt like you arrived already on the faster side. But the last lap you didn't brake anymore, which I like the most. Because I think later on when you have a free lap, I think then you have to brake again.
Yeah.
Because you arrive so much quicker.
Yeah.
But for the moment I think no brake is okay. Rather going a little more conservative here, but once you back to throttle then taking the speed with a consistent acceleration. But the speed is already good, so I like it. All in all, I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. So you can see some patches that the track is drying up now. So we might have a dry track for our final exam. Anyhow, it will be very tricky and interesting. And we are now back at the start. And by start I mean where it all started 2 days ago on Monday. Today is Wednesday, because that was our first section from Foxhole down upwards towards Cullenheart, I believe. Yeah. We finished the training and now on to the exam. Now it's time for lunch. Let's see what we have today. Danke, vielen Dank.
Can I have that too?
The best part is actually butter. I don't know, it's so tasty. So let's go for that. Alright, traditionally wise, food chat, this also means the end of the video. I enjoyed a lot today. Tomorrow's video gonna be the final exam, so hopefully we'll not mess up. Hopefully I'll bring Paul's car back in one piece.
Please, please, please.